Can I install the hair system myself? Can I stick it myself? Can I service it myself? This video is basically meant for men who are considering the non-surgical hair replacement, they are considering the hair system, but who do not want to go ahead with the clip-on one. They want to basically consider the stick-on one. And in the stick-on one, they want to also figure out that can they do it themselves. There are a lot of online orders that we get. हमें बहुत सारे online orders भी आते हैं internationally. They want to order online, but obviously उनको चाहिए, they want that convenience of doing it themselves. So today in this video, I'm going to explain it. I'm going to break it up that what exactly a service means, what all products do you need. So all those who are considering self-servicing, I'm going to give you a few suggestions. You're going to ask yourself these questions and then figure out, are you the right candidate? So let's begin with the first question that you're going to ask yourself, that are you open towards learning? Now, a lot of times what happens is that you order these hair systems, but you are not open towards learning. You just feel that it's very easy to fix. आपने बहुत सारे videos देख लिए और देख के लगा कि ये तो मैं कर पाऊंगा. But you need to understand that firstly you need to have a learning attitude. When you order your system, start watching a lot of videos on YouTube. We also try to give you a series of videos which are in an organized format, so you can basically watch these videos, and once you get that system, you can start practicing it. So if you're willing to basically have a learning attitude and watch a lot of videos and then practice it yourself, then yes, you can definitely consider doing it yourself. Second point, I would say again, it's related to the first one. It's called practice. Practice, practice, practice. Now, hair systems, we've been doing it obviously for years, and you see a lot of these videos and you feel that it's a quick fix, you can do it very easily. It doesn't happen like that. You've got to practice a lot. If you're somebody who doesn't want to practice and you feel that, I'm just going to wear it and it's done, it doesn't work like that. So please be open towards practicing. Fixing it, cleaning, servicing the hair system comes after a lot of practice. So just basically focus on practicing when you get your hair system. Now, related to the second point, again the third point, always try to order 2 systems. Now, when you practice, obviously it's your first system, आपका ये पहला system है, so it's not going to come to you easy, right? You're going to make these small mistakes of, not applying the tape right, or you've not basically positioned it right, you've not cleaned it right. Now, during this process, if you mess up your unit A, you will not have a backup. So usually all the clients who basically are into self-servicing or do it themselves, they usually order 2 units, and that's what we advise as well. Reason being, because now that you are wearing a sticking one, you've obviously shaved off the top area and you started wearing these. God forbid if there's anything that goes wrong while servicing it, while cleaning the base, while fixing the tape, while combing it, and if it tears off, you will not have a backup. So I strongly recommend that you all should always have a backup unit, so that even if there's something goes wrong, and this I'm talking about the initial stage, first get used to it, how to style it, how to fix it, and once you become a pro at it, 6 months or probably 1 year from now, then you don't need anybody because you just know how to fix it. So just give yourself time, and if possible, have a backup unit as well. So how it works is, let's say you've ordered 2 units, unit A and unit B. So when unit A, when you're wearing it on day 1 and day 15, you're removing it, you keep your unit B ready with the tape. So when you remove it and shampoo it, you can immediately use the unit B, and then at your own convenience, you can wash, shampoo, clean the unit A and keep it ready for the next service. Now what happens is the life also increases because you're alternating. So very important, basically try at the initial stage, always have 2 systems so that you have a backup and there's no panic situation. Use only tape. Now what I mean by this is, usually when we do the fixing, by and large in India or any other country as well, they usually use a glue, which is like a liquid glue, and they use the tape. So basically both these products are used to fix it. Now what happens is, basically when you do it yourself, the liquid glue is very, very sticky. Now in such cases, I really don't think that if you're doing it yourself or you're doing it for the first time, you should not use the glue. Now I'll tell you the pros and cons. When you use the glue, जब आप liquid glue लगाते हो tape के साथ, उसका जो bond है, that is basically extended. So basically when you use glue and tape, it will comfortably last for maybe around 20 to 25 days. However, when you just use the tape, it may just last for maybe 7 to 12 days. Now these are the pros and cons. If you use the liquid glue, it's going to be difficult for you to apply, but what you will have an extended wear. You can comfortably wear the hair system for maybe 20 to 25 days. But if you use the tape only, it may not last for very long. Basically, it will be stuck on your scalp from 7 to 12 days, but you will definitely will have that ease of application. So my suggestion, always start with tape, wait for some time, you master your art. You basically you do 6 to 7 fixings. जब आपको थोड़ा वो skill develop हो गया और आपको पता है कि अभी ऐसा लगाना है, then you can progress it and then started using the liquid glue. But to begin with, please use only the tape, because application of tape and removal of tape from the base also is comparatively easy. But if you use the liquid glue and if it's applied on the hair, it will get very sticky and it will be difficult for you to remove and you may mess up the hair system. So since you're a beginner, please stick to tape. It's simpler. Yes, it may not have a very long life meaning it may not be stuck on your scalp for very long, like 20-25 days, but it's okay. Practice and then progress to liquid and glue. Start off with only tape. Do not choose a very thin base. Now usually when the clients come to us, obviously we are professionals and we've been doing it day in day out, so it comes very naturally to us. But usually when you choose these thin bases, they are very delicate. Very thin base, what happens is the cleaning process becomes a little difficult and initially you may not be very good at it. So when you're consulting with any of your technicians, basically try to ask them to suggest the right base, because you're going to do it yourself. So if it's like a fully laced base, a completely breathable base, which is a very delicate base, when you're removing the tape and glue, and if you don't shampoo it right, it's not very easy to remove the glue from a very thin base. So what I advise is, if you're considering doing it yourself, don't go for the thinnest base. You can probably go for category 2, which will have some kind of perimeter, which is basically easier to apply the tapes and remove it. Don't choose an exposed hairline. Now this is a very sensitive topic, obviously, because you're considering your hair system because you like the natural hairline. I totally understand it, and everybody who wants that hair system wants a natural hairline. Now see, again, this you all need to understand that usually the natural hairline, that area, the base is very thin and it's also delicate. So in such cases, you all need to understand first that what makes a hairline looks natural. A, if the base is very thin. Second, you can't use a tape in the front, you can only use the liquid glue. Because if you just use the tape in the front, it may show. So considering these factors, what happens is, if you're considering a natural hairline, in natural hairline, you basically, if you're doing it yourself, you're going to find it difficult to fix it and it's very delicate. And you may always be conscious about the hairline. So what our suggestion is, if it's your first system, we always suggest a hairstyle which is covering the hairline. Basically, it should not be an exposed hairline, not a completely brush back hairstyle, because maintenance will be difficult. And since you're a beginner, please do not get into that, because you'll always be conscious, you'll be bothered, and then you wearing a hair system is to feel confident, right? So in such cases, what we suggest is, if you're a beginner, if you're considering a hair system, keep it simple and just have enough hair on the head. Just take that step 1. Don't try to change the look completely, and don't choose for that completely natural hairline base, because it will be very difficult for you to maintain initially. Yes, give yourself time, maybe 6 months, 1 year from now. Once you get used to it, then you can always progress to a thinner base. But at the initial stage, I would not recommend. The right hairstyles. Again, as far as the hairstyle is concerned, see, again, you're a beginner. When you're a beginner, you go through your old pictures and you used to look a particular way 10 years back, and now obviously your hair has fallen and the density is less. Now you need to understand there are various factors. It's just not the hair. It's your temple area, it's your density on the sides and the back. So you obviously can't look exactly how you used to look 10 years back or 15 years back, right? You have to look age appropriate, and also when the temple area, this is what I mean by temple area, when that recedes, you have to basically also keep the forehead bigger because it has to be in sync with the temple. So the hairline also has to be deeper. You can't have a straight hairline, it will look artificial. So my suggestion when it comes to hairstyle, please choose a short, simple hairstyle which is not with an exposed hairline. Keep it simple. Don't try to experiment too much with the hairstyle. Short and simple hairstyle will never ever look bad. Take that step one. Get used to it, become a pro at it, and then maybe after 6 months or a year, then you can start experimenting. Suddenly, if you're going to put a lot of hair or you're going to basically change the hairstyle too much, it will look artificial. So don't go for these long hairstyles, they are very difficult to maintain. So I suggest just keep it short and simple, it will never look bad. Take that step one, and with time, then you can progress to step two. Plan all the products required in advance. Now what I mean is, obviously you've ordered your hair system now. Now once you get your hair system, you have to grow your natural hair on the sides and the back because blending becomes easier. Also, you got to make a list of all the products that you will need for self-servicing. You can also click on the I button or basically search for one of our videos in which we have explained all the products that you will need for self-servicing. Make sure that you have all of this stuff. So you will need a white toothed comb, you need a professional dryer, you need the right comb, you need a wand brush ready before you start wearing them so that there's no panic situation. Do not choose dark hair color. Now, a lot of times what we feel is that once you cross 40 or 45, you start obviously covering your grays and coloring your natural hair on the sides and the back. Now, a lot of times, a lot of men, they basically color it very, very dark. So basically, if you're coloring the sides and the back too dark, it's still okay. But if we try to match the color on the sides and the back on top as well, it's going to look very, very dark. And in such cases, suddenly if you have black hair on top, it will not look good. So my suggestion as far as choosing the right hair color is concerned, if you're going to start wearing a hair system, please don't choose these very dark hair colors unless you're young and your density on the sides and the back is very thick and your natural hair is very, very dark, then it's fine. Otherwise, I suggest that start planning your color on the sides and the back. Try to use a slightly darker brown because it looks age appropriate and it looks more natural. Suddenly if you're going to have black hair on top, it will not look good. Choosing the right hair color is extremely important. Planning in advance. So when you're planning to do this yourself, just discuss with your consultant or your technician. All your expectations should be communicated and there should be a discussion. And once you all discuss it, then you should have very realistic expectations and then plan your hair system. Do not order these online and standard pieces because it will not work for you, because every hair system at the base, your requirement, your hairline shape, the density, your gray coverage, there are a lot of factors that makes it look natural. So obviously you will need some form of customization. So I suggest always discuss it with your consultant, your expectations, take their suggestions as well. Be open towards suggestions because they are the ones who are doing it day in, day out. So they will be able to give you the right suggestion and then plan your system so that it looks close to natural. Remember, your first system will not be your last system. So you got to start somewhere, take that small step, at least begin with covering a smaller area and keeping it short, and then slowly you can progress to the hairstyle or you can increase the density later on in your next system. But what's important is you'll keep thinking and you'll not take the next step because you'll feel that how would it look and I want this hairstyle. Keep your expectations real, keep the density low, keep the hair length also short, keep it simple, you'll never go wrong. I think I've covered most of the points, but still if you have any questions regarding non-surgical hair replacement or hair system, you can always call up on 9222 and also comment on comment box. At least understand that what are the questions you guys usually have. So if you get a lot of questions like these, then what we can do is we can make another video to basically create these educational videos which will help you take the right decision. Thank you so much and subscribe to American Hairline. I would request you, if you have your friends and family who are going through hair loss, or they are considering this, or there are some who do get very scared of transplant and stuff as well, so you can definitely share the link and help them take an informed decision. Thank you so much, and please subscribe to American Hairline. Thank you.